circumstances of the killing. Would her imagination explain that?
Date, we have no direct evidence. For now, we must continue investigating.
Right.
You have less than 2 minutes, Date. Hurry.
1 hour reference book. I'll try my best.
It is a thick book.
Okay, you can try to read it. It will take 9
It
seconds.
has not been well preserved. Most of the ink has faded.
Can you tell what kind of book it is?
It is probably a book on... insects! It's a book on insects!
Don't get excited. I know how you love bugs. Does this book belong to Iris?
I didn't know she liked insects, and to read the book so often that it wears out.
Well, we can't prove it's Iris's.
True. We cannot conclude anything.
What's inside the locker?
Just a locker.
Whoa!
Iba?
It's all right. More importantly,
Oh my. This will trigger the thing. The ball to roll, and then it will trigger the gun over here. And the gun will shoot at the mirror or something. Whoa, holy shit, man. Whoa. Who the hell built this? Good God. Wow. It seems we have figured it out. But holy shit. This is just... This must be from the killer perspective. He even built this freaking thing. Oh my god. It's going to... Whoa. And that took care of the mirror.
that is...
Shoot to death. We'll figure this part out. Wow. Shot the body. It seems that I have taken a route that was not supposed for me to see. Day 3 RSA acquired. But we have solved the puzzle. It was hard, but we solved it first time. I don't even have to reload or anything. That was kind of surprising. Day 3 Sunday. Gum AI. Wow, this game.
What happened in that Somnium?
We saw it too.
The 4 murdered women are without a doubt the victims of the original Cyclops serial killings.
That means...
The murders that occurred 6 years ago are these memory fragments that coalesced in this Somnium.
No.
There's no way.
That means the person who killed them was...
It's not possible. Iris cannot be the killer. At that time, she was way too small there. I mean, way too... Yeah, way too young to be precise.
Help me understand this. What I saw during the sink earlier, that was the scene of the original Cyclops serial killings, right?
Yeah.
So the person doing the killing was the original Cyclops killer.
Right.
Did you see him? He was...
I saw your face. The original Cyclops killer was...
It can't be. That's impossible.
Date, you cannot say that for certain. You have no memories past 6 years ago.
Blue figure with Date's face. So now what?
So perhaps, Mr. Date, you are the killer. You're missing your left eye, so you steal them from others.
What now?
I'm kidding. You can't be the Cyclops killer.
Really?
Of course not. Do you think I would hire a serial killer? You interrogated Iris before the sync. What you saw in the Somnium was just a manifestation of the fear you put in her.
It is possible that Date is indeed the killer. I mean, he lost the memories. Maybe it has to do something with this sync machine thingy. The fact that he lost his memory 6 years ago kinda make me even doubt him a little bit more. He don't remember anything about the past. He could be the killer, you know. What about the original Cyclops serial killings?
The Cyclops killer appeared 6 years ago. I lost my memory 6 years ago. There has to be some kind of connection.
There isn't. It's a coincidence.
Really?
Really. Didn't I tell you? The entire case is a state secret. No matter how many times you ask, I won't tell you anything. You can't dream of something you know nothing about.
That means Iris must know about the killings.
6 years ago, Iris was 12.
Did she witness the crime at age 12? And not just one, but all four?
That seems unlikely. It's just... No. There's something wrong with this case. We just don't know it yet, but there has to be some sort of explanation for this.
I don't believe there's any meaningful connection. Between the original and new Cyclops serial killings, I mean.
Why is that?
The culprit is not the same. I am absolutely certain the original Cyclops killer could not have committed these crimes.
How can you be so sure?
Because I can. Don't worry about it. Just trust me. The Sinker does not always experience the somnium they expect. Dreams are pieced together from memories, even repressed subconscious ones. When using the sync machine for an investigation, we don't always see the memories we expect to see. True, oftentimes a subject will subconsciously want to express their dark secrets and repressed memories. That is why we see them so often in Somnia, and why those Somnia are so useful for criminal investigations. But this is not a guarantee. We cannot control the content of our dreams, after all. It's like I told you before. Dreams are pieced together from memories, even repressed subconscious ones. This can be expressed as an equation. Dream D equals memory A plus memory B plus memory C. This, of course, means that Dream D is a fictional event. However, the same cannot necessarily be said about memory A, B, and C. Those happened in reality. In other words, fiction is built from combinations of reality.
So what I saw in Somnium earlier...
Yes, I believe Iris actually witnessed those events.
No, I don't believe Iris witnessed these events. It must be someone else in Iris' body. If I think about it that way. if someone else was in Iris' body. Oh, wait a second. What about this thing machine? And what about the time limit it has? Like, we have the 6 minutes thingy, right? What happens if the time runs out? I mean, I guess it will be a game over. No. When I think about it like this, I just want to say that if the time runs out, let's just say that the sinker, like Date right now, is trying to do the investigation inside the subconscious of, the host right there. Maybe the host and him will switch place. I mean, he will get absorbed in the host memory and he will no longer be himself. And maybe, just maybe, they kind of switch place with each other, right? Like, for instance, if that puzzle earlier, I did not manage to solve it, maybe my Date's consciousness will be switched to whoever's inside Iris' body. And that whoever's inside Iris' body's subconsciousness will be switched to Date's body, right? If that was the case, that would explain why Iris... Wait. No. Let me think about it. If that was the case, then whoever inside Renju's body was a killer. That guy was a killer. And then he met up with Iris. Maybe he used a sync machine somewhere. I remember that we have a prototype of the sync machine. So he could have used that prototype to switch place with Iris. And then after he switched his subconsciousness to Iris' body, he's now the one who controls Iris' body. He can kill Renju, who was the original he was in. And before that, it was Shoko. Oh, so it originated from Shoko. I just came up with that theory. So back at that bloom path thingy, it went something like this. Shoko has the killer's, killer mind inside her body. Let's just call him killer host or something. The killer host, Shoko body. And then Shoko message Renju, the husband, to get to the bloom path or something. Or maybe they just somehow managed to send a message and meet up with each other elsewhere. Shoko then switch place with Renju using the sync machine. And now the killer is inside Shoko's body. No. Now the killer switch place from Shoko's body to Renju's body. And then that killer proceeds to kill Shoko. After that, he used a subway. He drive with the car, placing probably Shoko's dead body in the trunk of the car, using the subway station to get to the bloom path unnoticed by the camera. And then he sent the message to Mizuki there. But for some reason, he did not kill Mizuki. And then he ran away back to the subway station. If that was the case, then everything I just came up with seems to make sense, Renju now is controlled by the killer's host or whatever. Contact Iris and do the same thing with her. And now the killer is probably inside Iris' body as well. If I think about it like that, it actually kind of makes sense. But anyway, Man, I don't know. I spent like about 10 minutes trying to think of something. Are all memories real?
Pewter, you said that memories happen in reality, right? But what about false memories? How do we know if the memory really happened?
Even false memories are built from the pieces of real ones. If you disassemble those pieces, you will find real events.
What about things you see in movies or television?
The events might be fictional, but the experience is not. Our imaginations are limited to what we have seen. We cannot invent something whole cloth.
About the original Cyclops killer.
Remember what the boss said this morning. The original Cyclops killer has yet to be brought to justice. After the investigation got going, it was taken over by the government and classified. That was the last we heard anything about it. Of course, they paid lip service to the idea that the investigation was ongoing, but in reality, it was dropped completely.
Of course, nobody would pay for that. I mean, if they can't find anything, they will stop it and pretend that they're still working on it. Maybe someone will actually continue the work, but they will have to do it by themselves, with no support from the government or the agency. The red figure from the sink.
In the Somnium earlier, I saw someone else who might be the criminal. Who was he?
I wouldn't know.
We have the red figure and the blue figure. The blue figure is a killer, and the red figure is probably the witness. Summarize for me. I don't learn anything from speaking with Boss and Pewter. If anything, the mystery only grew deeper. Pewter shook me from my thoughts.
Dante, it looks like Iris is about to wake up.
Got it.
I headed to the sink room. There's no way Iris is a killer.
Hey Iris, about that dream earlier.
Dream? What dream? There is no point in asking her, Date. The subject of a sink does not experience somnium in the way that you do. They will not remember it.
Then what about the Cyclops killer from 6 years ago?
Cyclops killer? I remember hearing it on the news. But I was just a little girl. I don't remember anything specific.
You don't?
No,
What about the scene of the murder?
I don't know. I've never been there.
But
You're lying.
Dreams are pieced together from memories, even repressed subconscious ones.
You can't dream of something you know nothing about. Date, could you take Iris home?
huh?
We do not have enough evidence to hold her. Even in Somnium, we couldn't find anything. The law demands that we release her.
You cannot decline, Date.
This is not her fault. I mean, her subconsciousness has been replaced by the killer. That is the theory I'm coming up with. I'm going to follow with it.
Date, could we make a stop first?
Sure. Where?
Marble. It's a bar in Golden Yokocho.
You know about that place?
Yeah, Mr. Okiura took me before.
Why do you want to go there?
There's something I want to talk about.
We can't talk here?
It might take a while.
What do you think?
There's no reason to refuse. Besides, there's a lot I want to ask her too. Alright, sure.
Iris nodded and pulled out her phone. Is she sending another message to someone? Wait a second. Probably she's sending it to Oda. I was curious, but I didn't want to pry. I mean, before she was sending the message to Oda in the interrogation room, right? I turned around and drove to Marble. Is she telling me I mean, is she telling Oda to get rid of me? I mean, that guy Oda, he might do anything for her. God damn, this might turn out to be uglier than I expected. Why don't we walk in? I didn't see Mama anyway. Uh-oh. Man. What am I... God damn.
Oh,
We
Ota.
find Ota here. God damn, this is not good. I had a very bad feeling about this. God damn, these kids might be planning to kill Date right here, right now. I mean, this guy would do anything for Iris. This cannot be a coincidence. Where's Mama?
Oh, she left a little while ago. She said something about going to help an acquaintance. She told me to watch the place until she got back.
How well do you know Mama?
Not at all. It's my first time here.
I wasn't particularly surprised. Mama's always depended on the kindness of strangers ever since she opened Marble. I never thought I'd run into you here.
I was nihiling with Tessa earlier. She said she was going to Marble, so... I got here just before you did. Look, I was really worried about her. She was about to be charged with a serious crime.
Isn't your phone broken?
No, this is my new one. You're thinking of the one I dropped in that puddle.
What was that thing about?
This actually works out nicely. I want to ask you something, Ota. It's about a Nile message you sent Iris. You said you wouldn't tell anyone about that thing. That you'd stay quiet no matter what. What were you talking about?
Well,
I'll tell her about the two-witter thing. I swear I'll do it.
geez, fine. Just don't tell anyone else, okay? But before I tell you, who's that?
What?
At the door. Someone's standing outside.
Fucking knew it. Day 4 Monday. Juke AI. When I woke up, I was lying on the sofa.
Where am I?
My head was killing me and my memory was foggy. I felt sudden pain in my neck. I shot up, rubbing my neck. When I looked over the counter, I saw a monster staring back at me. It took me a few seconds before I realized it was just Mama.
It looks like you're awake now.
As Mama spoke to me, it all came rushing back. I remember everything. What time is it?
It'll be 3 o'clock soon. In the morning, of course.
Where's Oda?
Ota? The boy I asked to watch the bar?
I'd say he's too old to be called a boy, but yeah.
He was already gone when I came back. All I saw was you getting your beauty sleep on the floor.
Damn it, Ota. What are you thinking?
It appears that he took off with Iris.
What were you doing during all this?
My power was shut down due to the stun gun. I have rebooted in safe mode and am now operational.
I tried. You wouldn't budge. I thought you were passed out drunk, so I left you like that.
But I didn't have a glass in front of me, right?
So you weren't drunk?
Didn't have a single drop.
Oh, I thought you were drinking straight out of the bottle. Just like the old days.
Date, the boss is calling.
Oh, how am I gonna report this one?
Date, listen. Stay calm, but this is an emergency. Just now, the killer... Well, just watch the video. I sent the address to Iba.
Iris.
Oh my fucking god!
No, that's...
The criminal is streaming this live.
Iba, the source.
Identified. The Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse, Koto District.
That place again.
Okiura?
Date, focus. We need to get to the site, now.
I thanked Mama and ran out of marble. God damn it. So the killer switched place from Iris
What's
to
our
Oda.
ETA?
That must be it.
Our destination is far from here.
That must be the reason why Iris is there right now. God damn.
Please let me make it in time.
No. She's going to get fucked here.
That sick bastard.
The polar bear? What the fuck is that thing doing there? Whoa. Oh my god.
Tessa! Hold on! I'll save you!
Ota.
Stay away from Tessa! Ah!
I kept my foot to the gas the whole time. I could feel the sweat on my palms. The engine raised a high-pitched scream, but I could barely hear it. My heartbeat was pounding in my ears, shaking me to the core. How much time had passed? The feeling of time itself had disappeared. Eventually, the car reached a long bridge. Shortly after, the image changed. We should be getting close to the warehouse now. Now what? Uh-oh. Fuck. The boat.
It can't be.
The polar bear took care of Oda.
Stop!
We can't do anything about it. No way. Ugh. You disgusting fucking piece of shit. And he's going to wipe the blood off the Chimera. No, he's going to pause it.
No!
We were getting too close to the truth. That's the reason why he killed Iris there. Harbor Warehouse District. This place again. What? What the hell's going on? Oh, inside Cyrus. Wait. Whoa. Police headquarters. How did... Oh my god. They switched place? So they kill Iris?
There you are. Finally. I was looking all over for you.
Oh, fucking hell.
It's rare to see you down like this, but it's understandable. You blame yourself for this, don't you? Beating yourself up about taking Iris to Marble, and about letting Ota get the upper hand on you. Am I right? Shall I tell you what Investigation HQ thinks? Ota Matsushita is a criminal stalker who committed murder-suicide. Ota had a selfish love for Iris. He was under the delusion that Iris loved him too. But Iris refused Ota. So Ota decided that he and Iris should be together in the afterlife, killed her, then killed himself.
No, that was not possible. There was someone else there with Ota. That person then killed Ota. After he finished killing Iris. God
That's ridiculous.
damn.
Ota would never kill Iris. And how do you explain the other two murders? Iris's left eye was hollowed out. Just like Renju and Shoko. Those three murders were definitely executed by the same person. The new Cyclops killer. There's no way that's Ota. Too many pieces don't fit. Too many contradictions, like killing Iris.
Such as?
There's something wrong about the boss. There's something in her voice. They don't even tell me the killer got to the boss as well. I don't like this. I don't like the look on her face. I don't like the tone in her voice. There's something wrong here. There's something definitely wrong with this boss. She's not herself. What about the polar bear costume?
The culprit was wearing a polar bear costume, probably to hide their identity. But if murder-suicide was the plan, the costume served no purpose.
Ota had no incentive to kill Renju.
Maybe he was thinking like this. The reason Iris and I can't be together is because her agency prohibits it, making the president, Renju, the ultimate bad guy in his mind.
Mizuki is Ota's close friend. Do you really think Ota would kill his friend's father?
You're just making this up. You're not the boss. You're someone else.
Shoko was married to Renju. Maybe he was trying to get at Renju by killing her.
That's a stretch. They've been divorced for years. Ota knows all about it. He wouldn't use Shoko to get to Renju.
I can definitely say right now this is not the boss. The boss usually would not act like this. Just the look on her face and the kind of logic she's trying to bring out right now. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Stay away from Tessa!
Ota showed himself on the screen. If he was gonna kill Iris and then himself, why would he do that? The only reason you would show yourself like that is to prove that you weren't the culprit. Ota and the polar bear on the screen at the same time would prove that they're not the same person. That behavior would be totally unnecessary if he was gonna commit suicide anyway.
Well, maybe he wasn't planning on dying at first. After he killed Iris, he realized that he couldn't live with himself.
So he lies down on the workbench and turns on the ice cutting machine himself? I don't buy it.
There are some additional discrepancies. I analyzed the investigation report. Judging by his wound, Ota was stabbed in the side by a kitchen knife or something similar.
Are you sure?
I am.
Okay, I get it. I told the boss what Ava found.
Oh, I know that.
Well?
Ota could have stabbed himself. Maybe he thought it would be a fatal wound, but when it didn't work, he went for the ice cutting machine.
Then, shouldn't we have recovered the kitchen knife from the scene?
Maybe he threw it in the ocean.
Boss, come on. Ota goes out to the water. stabs himself in the gut, throws the knife over the side, then walks back to the warehouse?
Well, I wasn't being serious. I didn't think Ota was the culprit from the beginning. I was just playing devil's advocate for HQ.
Really?
Yes, really.
Anyway, Ota didn't kill anyone, and he didn't kill himself. Here's what I think happened.
Stay away from Tessa!
Ota knew Iris was kidnapped, so he rushed onto the scene. That's when he saw the culprit wearing the polar bear costume. He tried to fight him off, but ended up being stabbed in the side. He was weakened and losing blood at the culprit's mercy. The culprit forced him into the costume, then under the ice cutting machine. And then...
Yep. Kill the poor guy. God damn.
Then, who is the culprit?
I wish I knew.
We're up to 4 victims. But Ota was a special circumstance. He wasn't specifically targeted by the culprit.
Right. And he was the only one to not have his eye pulled out.
So let's
Because
focus on the 3 other victims. Shoko, Renju, and Iris. What connects these 3?
Connections.
If you find a connection between the victims, you find a connection to the culprit. That's the theory of investigation, right?
You think the new Cyclops killer is related to them somehow?
Maybe, maybe not. That is a good starting point.
let's see. Iris' mother, he told me. Moma. No. Mayumi seems to be the one we need to answer.
Mayumi had motive for killing Iris and Renju. Mayumi hated Iris, and she didn't think well of Lemnis Gate either. And since Renju is the president... Anyway, the weak point is Renju's ex-wife, Shoko. I can't imagine why Mayumi would kill her. And above all else, she would never harm her only son, let alone kill him.
Who else did it? Iris' mother. No, that's not possible. We're talking about Mizuki here. What? God damn. None of this makes sense. But again, it's forcing us to acknowledge that.
Mizuki has the strongest connections with all 3 victims. Shoko and Renju were her parents, and she was close friends with Iris. She was good friends with Ota too. But that's why I could never believe Mizuki would kill all 4 of them. Thinking of her as a suspect is ridiculous.
The only one left here is Moma.
Renju and Shoko were connected to the Kumakuras. But there's no connection to Iris.
What about this guy?
Renju, Shoko, and So. There is a connection between Renju and Shoko through the Kumakuras. But again, I can't see any clear link to Iris. I know Renju and Shoko. And I'm connected to Iris. But I have an alibi. Aside from Shoko, there's no way I could have killed any of them. No, now that I think about it, Shoko too. I don't remember killing her. My memories from 6 years ago are missing, but I still have my memory of recent events. And if I start doubting myself now...
Date, I can say without a doubt that there is 0 possibility you are the new Cyclops killer. I have been working with you for years. I know better than anyone that you are innocent.
Hitomi and Renju are definitely linked. They were high school classmates. And she did say that she met Shoko twice. But I can't imagine she would kill Iris in such a gruesome way. No matter what the circumstances were, it seems impossible to me. I thought it over, boss. Of the people I know, I can't peg any of them as the murderer.
And no leads to pursue?
No.
Then there's only one thing you can do. Continue your investigation. Do whatever it takes to get the culprit. To get justice for the victims.
You're right. Got it, boss.
I stepped into the cold storage warehouse. The air conditioning wasn't running, but it was still cold. The temperature hasn't raised much at all. The cold air sunk into my skin, but the center of my body was burning hot. Is this Oda's blood? Evidence marker. It's a little marker that puts up to okay. Any clues?
No, nothing so far.
Any progress in the investigation?
I checked this place point by point, but didn't find nothing.
I don't see any clues here. The
A
equipment.
video camera and laptop.
They
This
were
is what the criminal
used.
used to stream.
Yep. God damn.
All of these items have been bought from pawn shops and thrift stores. It would be difficult to determine a suspect from them. I have logged into the Wi-Fi in this warehouse. Okiura Fishery Co., Ltd. is listed as the owner. However, I found the password written directly on the router. Anyone who saw it could have used it. I have done some research. As the name suggests, the company is owned by the Okiuras, the same Okiuras we know. Renju's father created the company.
Another connection to Renju.
No, actually. Currently, Okiura Fishery has nothing to do with Renju. The company has been managed by office representatives for the past 17 years after Renju's father died. Renju holds no shares and is not involved in the management. In short, Renju did not inherit the company from his father, and it was instead given to other persons.
But it can't be a coincidence.
It certainly is suspicious.
So there's nothing left. The forklift.
This forklift is old. It does not appear to be functional. It has not been moved in some time.
Iris and Oda's blood.
There are only a few items on the shelf.
Is this warehouse not in use?
Iris and Oda was sliced into by this ice cutting machine. Iris and Oda.
Iris's estimated time of death and cause of death have been confirmed. The video was not a recording. It was a live stream filmed in real time.
Which means Iris's time of death is 3:20 a.m. Right here, Iris and Ota were.
I am sure you are already aware of Ota's time of death.
Just before I arrived, about 3:30 in the morning.
And the cause of death.
Yeah.
Right, about that. Ota had a stab wound from a kitchen knife in his side.
Correct.
What was the exact cause of death? Was it the knife wound or...
I cannot determine that. I can conclude that the knife wound was at least close to being fatal. Even if Ota was still alive on the workbench, he was certainly on the verge of death. If he weren't already extremely weak, we would expect to see more signs of struggle.
The killer knows how to hit the vital points of the victims. That's the reason why it was so damn ruthless there. I hope it's hanging from the ceiling crane.
Iris also had her left eye removed.
Yeah.
And like Renju and Shoko, Iris's left eyeball has not been recovered.
Maybe Ota was trying to help Iris jumping at the criminal. That led to a scuffle. Then Ota ended up with a knife wound in his side. He lost all his power to fight back. He was forcibly put inside costume, then finally cut open by the ice-cutting machine.
But why? Why did the culprit put the costume on Ota?
Unknown. Date, we should get moving. Officers from the local jurisdiction are checking the warehouse thoroughly. We will not find anything of importance here.
Yeah, you're right.
You can ask CSI to inform you if they find anything.
Alright.
I'm heading out. Let me know if you find anything. I let them know, then left the warehouse. When I left the warehouse, I saw Pewter. What is he doing here? He walked up to me while I was trying to work it out.
Date, I have to talk to you about something.
Huh?
About the original Cyclops serial killings.
Why this all of a sudden?
Because I want you to solve this case, Mr. Date. I want you to find who did this and bring them to justice. So, if I can help you, even a little.
Why didn't you say anything at Abyss?
The boss was there. I couldn't speak openly in front of her. So, I decided to meet you here.
Alright. Let's hear it.
Earlier, I told you that I was completely certain the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes. I am absolutely certain the original Cyclops killer could not have committed these crimes. Let me explain why. I'll start by telling you the identity of the Cyclops killer. Although, it's more accurate to say killers.
More than one?
In the first series of killings, the culprit had an accomplice. One of them was born a murderous psychopath. The other is Rohan Kumakura, the previous chairman of the Kumakuras. They each had a role to play. The murderer committed the homicide, and Rohan removed the eyeball.
So if that was the case, then the original Cyclops killer would have been me, Dade, right now, right? We saw the fragments of him in Iris Somnium, and then that guy Rohan. He was the one who has to, take the eyeball out of the socket. What if they switch place again? Like if Rohan and the original Cyclops killer switch place from the body. And that's probably the reason why Rohan was dead. No, that doesn't make any sense. What am I thinking about? Not yet anyway. Let's talk to Pewter. Why did the Cyclops case get classified? So who is this murderous psychopath?
He was born with a brain dysfunction. Due to damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
Oxytocin is a peptide hormone linked to feelings of love, affection, and trust. It is colloquially referred to as the love hormone. It causes a tranquilizing effect which improves mood and relieves stress. It is normally secreted when the body makes contact with an object of affection, such as an embrace or caress.
I'm sure you know what this implies, but he was unable to feel love in the way that we do. However, he was able to experience a substitute. His brain was wired in such a way that allowed him to feel satisfaction through other means.
By killing, you mean?
The unique idiosyncrasies of his brain, he was able to release large amounts of dopamine and endorphins.
When he's killing,
performing
yep.
a certain action.
Killing the victims.
What was it?
Murder.
Yeah.
Dopamine is a hormone linked to the reward system of the brain. The pleasant feeling attained through accomplishment is dopamine. Endorphins are a kind of brain narcotic. They dull pain and create a feeling of happiness.
He got pleasure from killing people?
It's slightly more complicated than that. killing people was the only way he could get pleasure. He was 12 when he took his first life. That enlightened him to the pleasure of murder, which he would do again and again. "18 years ago, Rohan took a woman's eye. She was already dead. He put his finger into her eye socket and gouged it out. The reason why was simple. He was fascinated by women's eyes. Their beauty stimulated his greed and his desire to possess them. He needed to have them, to make them his own. Driven by this instinctive impulse, he took the woman's eye. From then on, he acquired a grotesque obsession with the eyes of dead women. He was very particular about his need that the eye belonged to a deceased woman. But even being the head of a Yakuza gang, there weren't too many opportunities for him to indulge. His deepest, darkest desire went unfulfilled for years. However, he soon met his ideal partner, the aforementioned psychopath. The Cyclops killer would commit the murder, and Rohan would take the eye. Thus, a mutually beneficial relationship was established. This was the origin of the Cyclops serial killings. At about the same time, you were assigned to Abyss. That, I don't know.
The details of the original Cyclops serial killings case have become nebulous over time. Even the official investigation material contains nothing of value. I am unable to draw any conclusions from them.
You really have no idea?
If I did, I would tell you.
The original Cyclops killer had an accomplice.
There were 2 Cyclops killers.
And one of them was the former chairman of the Kumakuras, Rohan Kumakura.
Rohan committed suicide by jumping to his death 1 year ago.
That means... Pewter, tell me this. One of the original killers is dead, I know that. But that means one remains. Who is he?
After his 4th murder, he was arrested by the police. They actually picked him up on other charges. But, in any case, he is currently serving a life sentence in Fuchu prison.
Fuchu prison?
Yes.
What's his name?
In prison, he doesn't have a name.
They call him...
He's simply called
Yep.
Number 89.
Number 89.
I know who killed Shogun Adami.
So, now you know why I said that. That the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes. Because one is dead and the other is behind bars. Neither of them had the opportunity.
Let's go to Mashishita's diner. It cannot be that simple. Well, let's just keep on playing to figure it out. The place was silent. It was so quiet. I felt like I could hear the floating dust. I stepped inside. I thought it was empty, but I saw a shadow in the corner of my eye. It was Mayumi. It was like watching a decaying old tree cling pathetically to the earth. I'm so sorry your son died. I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you want to talk about Oda?
This is your fault. I heard from the police. Because you didn't take care of Iris, my boy Ota got involved.
Date, I looked into the investigation report. Mayumi confirmed Ota's body early this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry. I want to be alone right now. Did you not hear me? I said leave!
Date, let's go. She is in no state to talk.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, that is to be expected. There's nothing we can do here. We need to go elsewhere. Let's go to Date residence. Mizuki might be in here.